Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. I am 16 and a teen mom. My daughter is 3 weeks old today actually, and her name is Everly Violet Layla Ogilvie-Wall. She was born April 4th, 2020 at 7:17 a.m., weighing 7 pounds, 9 ounces. And I'm going to sit down and tell you the story of my labor and delivery because it went too fast for me to be able to film the actual birthing part in my vlog, which was my last video, so go check it out. I will leave it up in the iCards above, so go check that out after this video. But here's how it went. So April 1st, I started to lose my mucus plug, it's like the plug between its head and your cervix starting to open. So I started to lose that April 1st at 1:30 in the morning, and nothing more. Normally sometimes you can get contractions a few hours after that, or a few days, a few weeks, or even a month. But I did 3 days later, started getting contractions. So from April 1st, we thought, oh, I'll probably have my baby today or tomorrow. That didn't happen. We tried everything. We did spicy foods, raspberry leaf tea, we went on a bumpy road, we did lots of walks, we tried pineapple and pretty much everything you could think of, acupressure points, all kinds of things, and nothing worked. She did not want to come out. No contractions, nothing, no progression. I seen no difference. 3 days later, on April 4th at 1:30 in the morning, actually I should go back a second. So on the 3rd, I started to lose more of my mucus plug because I had not lost my entire mucus plug. And so I thought for sure she'll be here today or tomorrow. And so April 4th at 1:30 in the morning, I started to get irregular contractions, which is the start of early labor, which normally people don't go into active labor or where they need to count their contractions for a day to 6 hours is average. And so I called my midwife at 2:30 because I couldn't count them. They were like 10 minutes apart. I'd have a contraction, 10 minutes later have another contractions for 5 seconds, and I'd have 5 minutes later have a minute-long contraction, then 20 minutes later have another one, 7 minutes. It was all over the place. And she told me that that was normal. It was early labor. I shouldn't have a baby for a day to 6 hours. To go to bed, have a tub, go to bed, and get some sleep. So I had a tub and got out of the tub at like 3:20. As you guys seen, I was in the tub at 3:15. I come and lay down, and she said to start timing them, try to time them when I think they are consistent and not irregular. And I started getting them pretty frequently, so I started to time them, and they were 1.5 to 2 minutes apart, about 20 minutes after my tub, and they were lasting 40 seconds to a minute. So I called my midwife in a panic, because normally, like, I thought you get them like 10 minutes apart, 5 minutes, then like, closer and closer, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. No, it just went to 1.5 to 2 minutes apart for a minute, and incredibly painful. I called the midwife. It's probably because I had to wait an hour. It was about just after 5 o'clock, and so it was just after 5 o'clock, and I go call the midwife, and she said to get to the hospital right away. So I wake up my boyfriend, who was kind of already awake, but I told him to get some rest while he could. And I go and wake up my mom, who is my ride. I say, we gotta go, and we gotta go now. So we go to the hospital. We're on our way there. I couldn't sit properly. My mom was going as fast as she could and avoiding the bumps. But we go to the hospital. The nurses at the front door were so freaking rude, it wasn't even funny. With this whole COVID-19 shit going on, they have a line, and I started getting a contraction. You're not supposed to step on the line or past the line, and I'd step forward due to my contraction. My foot was on their duct tape, and the nurse yelled at me, and I just kind of looked at her and said, I'm about to have a baby, so whatever. We weren't not allowed to pass until we put hand sanitizer on. We were not allowed to pass until we answered every single question they had. Then we go in, we start registering an emergency, and the triage nurse casually answered the phone for somebody asking for an x-ray at 6 o'clock in the morning. Took like 10 minutes on the phone. I'm standing there about to have a baby, and I was in a lot of pain, and I needed to get upstairs to the maternity floor. And she was taking her sweet ass time, and the security guard was starting to get mad. And because of this whole COVID thing, you have to get escorted up to the maternity floor, which in our hospital is the 4th floor. They did that, we get up there. The nurse I got was a total bitch. My midwife ended up kicking her out of the room. She was awful. She hurt me so bad. It was not even funny. I was ready to request a new nurse before my midwife even got there. She was awful. I'd never seen her up there before, and I'd been on the maternity floor a few times in the last few weeks. The last few months I'd had 2 hospital tours. I'd been there twice. I'd seen most of the nurses. I recognized almost all the nurses except for this nurse, and she was terrible. She gets me in there. She checks my cervix. I'm 4 centimeters dilated. It's just about 7 o'clock, like 20 minutes to 7 o'clock. And I'm 4 centimeters dilated, hurting me incredibly bad, and I was in excruciating pain because of that nurse, so thank you, whoever you are. Get me off the bed into a gown. About 6 minutes later, my boyfriend said it was. They checked me again. I was 5.5 centimeters dilated, so she was coming, and she was coming out now. They get me into the room at 10 minutes to 7 o'clock, so 10 minutes after they checked me, they get me in the room, in the labor and delivery room. My midwife walks in, so it's 27 minutes before Everly was born, and I couldn't have any pain medication. I really wanted pain medication because that's how it was supposed to go. I wanted laughing gas and an epidural if I needed it, but that didn't happen. It was completely unmedicated. The only thing I got was a hot shower, which I just about had the baby in the shower. So they get me in the hot shower. I'm standing there. My boyfriend's standing there helping me, and I'm in the shower trying to get the pain off, and I could feel her getting lower and lower, and they're trying to get the bed all ready and whatever, because the stupid nurse that I got at the beginning hadn't got that ready yet, so my midwife was scrambling to get it done. But they kick her out. They get me on the bed because I had said that I thought I was gonna have the baby in the shower, and that she felt like she was coming out, and she was coming out now. So they quickly shimmy me onto the bed. I get over to the bed, and they said, "You're right, her head's right here." Her head was sticking out of my hoo-ha, so her top of her head was right there, and I started pushing. So about 5 minutes after 7, I started pushing because I only pushed for 12 minutes, my midwife said. At about 5 or 6 pushes later, I had my beautiful baby girl, and she was born at 7:17 a.m. on April 4th. So that's kind of what happened. And then I got yelled at by a nurse while I was pushing. She was telling me to stop tensing my leg and was yelling at me, and the midwife got mad at her and almost kicked her out because I don't know about you, but if you have a 7-pound object spreading your hips apart and coming through your birth canal, I do not believe you are going to think about untensing your leg. With all the muscles going on down there, your leg is gonna tense anyways. So I yelled at her. But on the other bright side, I had this very, 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 very amazing nurse. She was pregnant. She was just an absolute amazing human being. She helped so much. She fed me water the entire time I was pushing, and she is a blessing. She helped me for a while. She was super supportive, super nice, helped me get me into my room, helped me have my first shower. She was lovely, so kudos to you, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, but there was a lot happening, and you're an amazing nurse, and I appreciate people like you. And then our entire hospital stay, she came out healthy, perfectly healthy. She was 21.5 inches, and yeah, she's perfect and tiny and right here, that's why I keep looking. But that's pretty much what happened. It was a shit show. And then my stay, I had this complete and utter biatch of a lactation consultant for breastfeeding. She was so freaking rude. She came into my room to help get Everly to latch, and she's in there for not even 5 minutes and looks at me dead in the face and goes, "Oh, my time is up. So I'm off shift unless you guys want to have me requested to be paid for volunteer work, then I'm leaving. And walked out of my room. She didn't help me with anything. She was supposed to come back the next day, never did, and it was just a complete biatch. But then after that, when she was gone, no more issues. I had this really lovely nurse the day of being discharged. She was such a doll. She is so amazing. It was the new nurse. She was so kind and so sweet and was very informative to me and very supportive. She took our pictures of us leaving. Actually, I'll put them in right after this. She was amazing, and I really appreciate that lady. She was so great, and my midwife was amazing. Just I had a few terrible nurses that I really wanted to just like punch in the face, but I did not. So that's how that went. But that's pretty much how my labor and delivery went. Yeah, it was a very interesting experience. Approximately, my midwife said I was in active labor for approximately 3 hours and 17 minutes because my active contractions didn't start till just about 4 o'clock when I had gotten out of the tub and gotten dried off and in bed. But yeah, that's how it went. She came out beautiful and healthy. Her bilirubin came back fine, no jaundice. Her blood work came back fine. Her hearing came back perfect. And everything. So she is just our little perfect little baby girl, and she's sleeping here. I'll show you guys her in a second. But that's my story, and if you guys want anything more to know, just let me know. But I do know I have some questions that I'm going to answer right now. So I was asked if I had medication. That is a no. I was unmedicated because I was too far along when I got to the hospital for me to be able to do that. I did not tear. I didn't get any stitches. I didn't tear at all. Somebody asked about blood clots. I did have a really bad issue with blood clotting to the point of where I scared my one nurse. She was freaking out because of how big my blood clots were, because I decided to sit down for more than 6 hours, which is apparently a no-no after having a baby. You're supposed to get up and walk every few hours, so yeah, but that's pretty much it. I didn't, somebody also asked what hurt more, contractions or pushing. The contractions hurt more than pushing did. Pushing just felt like my skin was stretching as my baby came out. Pushing was like incredibly terrible menstrual cramps. Yeah, it was more painful in the moment. Like as soon as Everly was born, it stopped, and as soon as she was out, it stopped. And then when I go back to think about it, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Like in this situation at the point in time, it was not even as bad as it was what had happened. Now that I think about it, it didn't hurt as much, or it didn't hurt that bad, I guess. I don't know, like it hurt, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, it doesn't seem as bad as it did in the moment, now that I think about it. But, yeah, we're 3 weeks postpartum and 3 weeks old. I will do a 3-week postpartum shot. I have lost 21 pounds since I gave birth to her. So, yeah, I'm not fully bounced back, but, I'm covered in tiger stripes and working on it. I'm not too concerned about the baby fat. That'll go away over time here. She is only 3 weeks old, so 21 pounds is a lot. And for those of you who are wondering, Everly was back at her birth weight within 2 days of being born, and she is now weighing 8 pounds, 12 ounces. She's just about 9 pounds. And yeah, so just, that's about it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys go and check out my birth vlog and hit the subscribe button and support me in this tough time of nobody being able to work. But thank you guys for watching if you made it this far, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below if you have any more questions about me and my labor and delivery, or about my baby. And yeah, I will be always answering the questions in the comments. But thank you guys so much, and don't forget to head over to my Instagram. I do polls and answer lots of questions there, so if you have any personal questions you don't want to ask in the comments, head over there and don't hesitate to DM me. Please don't be creepy though, because I'm tired of people being creepy and messaging me. But thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a blessed day, and remember, you guys are all beautiful and loved in your own way. You guys are all perfect.